Yeah, the way I sort of the way I look at it is, what else do you do in a big auditorium with dim lights? And you watch movies and you see performances and you see plays and musicals and concerts and whatnot. So just by the nature of the physical environment, I think that there's maybe subconscious, I don't know, I'm sure that maybe research has been done on this, maybe not, but it seems to me that subconsciously there's probably some sort of expectation of what else is like this. Well, the performances are like this, and there is a stage, I'm on stage, like it or not, and I'm really the only one up there. And I'm, as much as I actually do enjoy this format, I'm not typically comfortable. I've never been a performer of any kind, and but having conversations with other colleagues, there's this acknowledgement, I think, that at some level you are always performing when you're in class. Students don't just evaluate the material or the structure of the class, they're evaluating you as a professor, as an instructor. So I'm an important character in this performance. The way I've been thinking about it is, say, well, what do I really want my role to be? And if I want to kind of play with this metaphor of performance, I could say, well, I could be the star, the lead, whatever, which in some ways the professor is regardless, because again, you're the only one up there. But I don't really want the class to be about me. I want the class to be about the students and about the content and about the learning and the process and all that. And so I'm much more comfortable seeing myself as more of a, again, to play with the metaphor, like more of an emcee, master of ceremonies, who's a facilitator, who's there to kind of move the events along, and interject occasionally with my own thoughts and lectures and whatnot, but also to be the transitions and the glue that kind of holds it all together, and to ask the right questions and to provide the right examples and to be a guide in a way. And so I think about it as like, if I was going to, again, continue with the idea of it, like there's this cast here of movie clips and lecture slides and even other students in the class who are bold enough to make comments and ask questions in the classroom, which I encourage, and actually, which really does happen and does actually, I think, enrich the class. Maybe it makes the largeness feel a little smaller. I think it makes the environment a little bit more familiar, because you are in some ways watching a performance when you see these movie clips and videos, and you have other voices speaking to you besides just mine. So even if students don't particularly like a video or a clip or something like that, I think I do get the sense that students appreciate the effort to try to make it interesting. They said, hey, you really did make an effort to make this an engaging class. And many of them do actually find it interesting and engaging. Some we didn't even expect to. But it shows that I'm at least showing some attention to their experience and trying to make that experience a priority of mine in terms of how I shape the class. Because actually, and interestingly, I find that the less I care about, the less interested I am in trying to get students to like me per se, and instead engage with the material and have a good experience, I think I actually end up being liked better as an individual, as like a consequence of that, which is a nice consequence, but it doesn't have the same impact because it's not as much of a priority for me anyway now. I really do think I've achieved a shift in priorities pretty dramatically from where I started, where it's not about me, it's about the class.